Hi everyone, I am with Jarrett and she is a realtor and she'll just tell us a day in the life of a realtor. So Jarrett, as a realtor, what does your schedule look like as a realtor?
It varies day to day. Of course, I'm always trying to work on business and having clients. So what I spend a good majority of my time doing is reaching out to people, past clients like yourself, and new client business that I might have, kind of leads that have come in. I follow up, I send emails, make phone calls. And then the current clients that I'm working with, I'm always looking for homes for them to send them houses through the multiple listing service to check out, see if they want to go see them. That's kind of in a nutshell, what I'm doing during the day. I'm answering a ton of phone calls. I might have a client that's under contract and we're having a home inspection done or a walkthrough. If you have a closing or if you're building new construction, there's several meetings for that. So every day's different.
So that's the beauty of being a realtor, huh? Every day is different, which is good for people that want to do this. So if a person wanted to, say, buy a house, what do they do first? Like, what would you suggest they do? Would they just call you and say, hey, Jarrett, I'm looking for a house, and how would you help them, go about that?
That's what you would do. You would call me, and then the very first question, not the very first, I get to know you, but one of the first things I want to try to find out is, have you been pre-approved with a lender, or are you going to be paying cash? We got to know how you are going to buy your home before I kind of start the process of looking for a house. I mean, we do it kind of in conjunction with each other, and usually my clients kind of have a ballpark idea of what they're going to be able to afford, even if they haven't talked to a lender. There's so many online resources that people like to use to get an idea of their budget, but I always try to put you in touch with a lender if you haven't taken care of that piece yet. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. I was going to ask you, if a person hadn't done that, what they would do that first. You would get them in touch with the lender and see how much they qualify for. As far as money, is like if they qualify for $200,000, $300,000, $400,000.
And then house. I ask them if they have time to sit down with me to do a buyer consultation, because most people don't know the process of buying a house. They think that we can just go out and start just looking at homes, and sellers.
Okay. So you were talking about the listing as far as the house.
Right. So a lot of people are under the impression when they're getting excited about going to house hunting, they don't realize that they have to have that. They have to either show proof of funds or be pre-approved. God, I'm so sorry. In order to see homes. I mean, of course, there's agents out there that will probably take them. I need to scrub and delete.
Keep going. All right. And when you say proof of
you need to know what your budget is. You need to know what are you going to be able to afford. The sellers get their homes ready for the market, right? And they are assuming that the people that they're allowing to come in their house with their agents are ready, willing, and able to buy a home.
Okay.
Does it make sense? Like you have your home listed. You've got to put away all your children's toys. You've got to clean up your kitchen. You've got to vacuum. You want it to look pristine when you have a showing. And you are assuming that the people that are coming to visit your home already have already talked to a lender, gotten a piece of paper that is a pre-approval. That lender has gone through their numbers, looked at all their employment verification, looked at their expenses, their debt, their income. They have an idea of the overall picture of what they're able to afford a home.
And so how long do you think that process, or what does that process, how long
That
does it
process
take?
is fast. You
Okay.
go, every lender that I know has a link online that you fill out an application and submit it. And then they'll have a conversation with you. They may need some extra information, but they're able to get you a pre-approval letter pretty fast. We work with a lot of wonderful lenders that, you know, we know can do really fast turnarounds with pre-approval. And just yesterday I had clients who reached out and they were like, we want to go see these 3 houses. That's great. These are beautiful homes. Can you tell me a little bit about how have you talked to a lender? Could you go ahead and send me your pre-approval letter? No, we have not talked to a lender yet. Great. Would you mind me introducing you to somebody? That'd be wonderful. You know, is what they say. And so that lender has already reached out. That client has already filled out an application with the lender. Lender's working on their pre-approval. So now when I sit down tomorrow with them for a buyer consultation to kind of go over the overall process of looking for homes, I've got that knowledge of what they're going to be able to afford. The 3 homes they sent me, I need to know that they can afford them before we start going shopping.
Okay, so basically for people that are listening, that you definitely need to know your budget before coming to Jared or anyone else.
Right.
Because you want to know, because you don't want to be looking at a house that you can't afford.
Right. It's like going shopping for a pair of jeans and you only have $20 in your pocket, but you're picking out a $50 pair of jeans. I mean, you got to go over to TJ Maxx or something, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, definitely.
So it's the same concept. You need to know how much money you have in your wallet. And then the next step would be the buyer consultation part. Is I like to either meet you in my office, or what's even better is Zoom. Ever since COVID, Zoom has been the way to go with buyer consultations. I am able in a buyer consultation to explain to you the North Carolina Real Estate Commission forms that we use, the buyer agency agreement, working with real estate agents, what an offer to purchase looks like. A lot of people don't know what monies they need to have up front when they're shopping for real estate. And that includes what we call due diligence money, earnest money. You need to know what your closing costs are. Again, this is a huge important piece of this, because if you haven't saved money or have any kind of money set aside, we need to know that first, because nothing hurts more than getting pre-approved, going out and looking at homes, and then finding out I can't buy it right now because I'm not ready. Not as ready as you thought you were.
And so when a person says not ready, does that mean that, what could that mean?
That could mean like,
or what does that look like when you're not ready? But you think you're ready, but then something in the finances or somewhere.
right, I think you need to have some money saved aside, because in our current market, and the way I'm talking right now is for a resale home, a home that somebody has currently owned and is selling. New construction is a little bit different as far as the funds that you will need for that. I'm able a lot of times to structure your offer to help you, depending on the situation. It does totally depend on the situation, but you need to have money set aside in savings that you can have access to in order to write a check, 2 checks when your offer is accepted. One is for due diligence money and one is for earnest money. And that amount varies depending on the price of the home.
Okay.
There's no set number for that. As your buyer agent, I'm always trying to keep those numbers really low. If I'm helping you, if you're my seller, I'd like to see there be a little bit of skin in the game with those amounts, because I want to know that we're all moving to the closing table.
And so, Jared, when you say you do a buyer, if people are wondering, the buyer consultation, is that a fee or is that free?
Yeah,
or
it's
is that
totally
something-
free. It's complimentary.
Okay. Is that always the case, or
Yeah.
for any realtor with yourself? Okay. So then that means if someone comes around to a realtor and they say they're doing a buyer's consultation and they say it's a fee, should they just get someone else, or?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, honestly, there should never be a fee for a buyer consultation,
Good to know. Good. Thank you.
ever.
And then if you had any other like good tips of either buying, selling, and then we can have you come back, because we're gonna probably most likely have a lot of questions with this, and Jarrett is great. She helped me with our home, so definitely if there's any tips that you would give anyone to buying or selling, what would they be? Some tips.
Have an agent. A lot of people think that they can do it on their own, and you don't have access to what we have access to, or the knowledge. And it's a major purchase. And I think just having an agent in your corner that will help you safely guard your money, we're working in your best interest.
Okay. And then one more question that I had, Jared, as far as the market is concerned, I know we're in a different state. I don't know if it probably does apply to state, but would you say, in your opinion, is it a buyer's market or a seller's market?
We're still in a seller's market.
Okay.
Our inventory levels are low right now. We have to have a certain capacity of listings in order for it to be a buyer's market. We have more buyers than there are sellers.
Oh, wow.
So think about that. We have a lot of people looking at the same house. There's not enough homes on the market for sale and new construction to deem this a buyer's market. A buyer's market is when you have tons and tons and tons of listings, and it's the opposite. It's when you have a lot of listings but less buyers. So.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jared, so much for meeting with me and giving the day in the life as a realtor and tips and some of the process. And I look forward to maybe doing this with you again if you agree.
Thank you, Miss
All right. Thank you. We're out.